What's up, everybody? Sorry for the late stream. Gotta go head first into these reaction videos because I had so much to take care of earlier this morning. Not gonna bog you down with the details, but ready now. So I gotta clear out the movie reviews that I was supposed to be doing yesterday, but because the power, because of the thunderstorm, power went out throughout the entire freaking neighborhood up until midnight last night. So I got a lot to make up for because next coming days gonna be very freaking busy. So The Fifth Element. I wanted to talk about this movie because since Bruce Willis, diagnosis that, I forgot what he's his ailment is, but it's definitely like a detriment to his mind. That sadly, more than likely, he probably won't be around before the year is out. At the very latest, early next year. So, it's a sad thing because Bruce Willis is an amazing actor. I love a lot of his stuff, and so one of my favorite Bruce, besides the whole Die Hard stuff, one of my favorite Bruce Willis films is The Fifth Element. So I wanted to talk about this month for Father's Day movie month. I wanted to talk about this film because it's probably, honestly, besides the Die Hard films, this is probably one of his best performances of all time. Matter of fact, it's probably one of the best sci-fi films of all time. Mainly because it's probably one of the few movies that depict the future. There isn't some kind of dystopian apocalypse or whatever. Unlike Judge Dredd or Terminator or I want to say Resident Evil. Well, one of those like zombie apocalypse things or Planet of the Apes type of things. It's like, no, this is just a normal future that is, well, not, I want to say not too dissimilar to like Star Wars, but isn't like bogged down with constant wars and what have you. Just like, in my opinion, I respect Star Trek, but I don't believe the future of Star Trek, mostly because it's too pristine and clean. Where I'm more buying something like Star Wars or The Fifth Element because that seems more believable, because even though it's the future, there's still some level of grunginess to it where it's like, yeah, I buy that. Because it's not going to be so freaking pristine, in my opinion. But before we continue, let me. This is directed by Luke Benson. Who what was that movie? Leon the he directed Leon the Professional, which is one of, I'm pretty sure that was Natalie Portman's first breakout movie performances. And the 2025 Dracula film. So we got Bruce Willis plays Corbin Dallas. Oh, don't get me started on the iconic quotable lines in this film. Multipass, big bada boom. And it's mostly coming from Milla Jovovich, who plays Lilu, who honestly has the most, not only the most iconic lines out of this entire film, but also one of the best performances out of the film, but also the most iconic looks out of the entire film. She is like the standout, and honestly, I'm pretty sure that people remember her as Lilu more so than Alice from the Resident Evil films. I think Alice might be, this, because Alice and Lilu is probably the top two most recognizable performances of hers of anything she's been in. personally. And honestly, she has a daughter who looks like a spitting image of her, and there was like a iconic it's like viral moment where her daughter recreated I don't know if she recreated the entire look, but she did the whole Lilu cosplay thing, and even had like a multi-pass thing. Looks exactly like her mom. It's crazy. But honestly, she was the most charming out of the entire film. Ian Holm plays Vito Cornelius. Gary Oldman plays Zorg, who apparently behind the scenes, he never cared for this particular performance, but you cannot tell given the fact that Gary Oldman acted his ass off in this. Talking about an incredible villain. And honestly, I want his pet. I don't think he deserved that little pet, that little anteater looking thing that looks kind of adorable that I kind of want. Chris Tucker plays Ruby Rod, which I think, if my memory serves me correctly, the performance was meant for Prince. I'm pretty sure either Prince or Michael Jackson. I'm pretty sure it was Prince, but I guess he couldn't get him, so they somebody recommended Chris Tucker, and Chris Tucker got the role. And I think it was the right choice. Chris Tucker is amazing as Ruby Rod. He was funny as hell. Classic Chris Tucker. And this is kind of wild. We got Luke Perry as Billy Masterson, but it's only a very small role very early in the film. Never seen again, but it's kind of like, it's one of those moments that's like, why you casted this big time actor in a performance that only lasts a couple of minutes? He probably was on set for one day, and that was it. And he got like as the opening credits, he's like the third or fourth name that popped up, I'm pretty sure. And it's like, why are you getting top billing and you only in here for... It's one of those performances that just says and or with Luke Perry or something like that before the movie gets started. But you make it seem like he's making he has a big role in this, but it's not. We got Tommy Tiny Lister Jr., Debo, if you don't know, as President Lindbergh. Lee Evans as Fogg, a security man. So go ahead and check out the trailer for The Fifth Element. Before I continue, like the video, share the video, follow me in the links in the description below, like my YouTube and Twitch channel, Talkative Carl. So here we go.
Every 5,000 years.
Remove the shield.
When the three planets are in eclipse, the black hole like a door is open. Evil comes, spreading terror and chaos.
There's nothing that can stop this.
There is only one thing.
Perfect.
The Mondachiwan have in their possession the only weapon to defeat evil. 4 elements. Gathered around a fifth.
They're here.
Hello. Corbin, sweetheart. You you got broken fingers, you can't.
I gotta mention that the that cigarette little display thing, because I probably watched this movie like dozens of times, and there was like a thing with the matches. Even though he's trying to quit smoking, there's a thing in the matches that is so subtle that speaks to the creative writing here. It's so subtle that the matches that he barely using throughout the film, he only had like a few, and he only got one left that he used for one of the elements at the end. It was such a pivotal moment. It's like, because he doesn't have fire. Nobody has fire. Nobody has fire at the ready. But the fact that this smoker, a smoker saves the day. At least one of the people that saved the day. Because talk about like a product, or at least a thing where you promote smokers, where it's like, hey, one of these days you're gonna need those smokers that probably have some fire at the ready. They might end up saving the world one day, so you never know. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Punch my number.
Oh yeah, and this whole thing with his mom, it's like I don't. If you take the whole mom thing out, it doesn't change something. I don't know why they had to add that in. What does that serve? Like, oh, by the way, he has a mom. Okay.
Hi, Mom.
Welcome on. Have a nice day.
Major Dallas, you're selected for a mission of the utmost importance.
What mission?
Save the world.
Is everything solid?
Unbreakable.
Good.
Word of the stone.
The iconic Leeloo look. The iconic look. Probably didn't know it was going to be this iconic. Nobody knows until, because it's this. The audience has to decide what is classic, what is popular, what is iconic. Because you never know when you're making a thing.
Word of the stone.
I don't know. And even if I did know, I wouldn't tell somebody like you.
Nowhere else to go.
Who in God's name would do such a thing?
Hang on.
One of those movies that doesn't need a sequel, because it's like sometimes a one and done movie is great, but it'd be cool to learn more about this world. Now, here's another thing. It's one of those moments where the trailer kind of tells you the entire freaking story. Because... One second. Sorry, got double check a text really quick. But yeah, because it's very annoying as an audience when they're looking at a trailer that a trailer is supposed to get you hyped, but you don't want to be fed like what the overall narrative of the movie is going to be. You want to get you hooked, but without spoiling anything. But irregardless. So the movie begins in 1921, very early of 20th century, where an Egyptologist is looking into the ruins of a pyramid and discovering about these four elements and the ultimate being that's supposed to deal with some kind of great evil. A priest who is in the know shows up trying to low-key trying to kill the archaeologist and Luke Perry, who is I don't know, because I guess he was kind of like one of those he's a sketch artist, but he also kind of like the Rick O'Connell kind of type where he knows how to fight. He's there to protect the area kind of thing, I guess, because he has like a broom handle gun. And an alien spaceship shows up, and these turtle-like beings comes to collect the four elemental stones that's hidden behind the chamber where the archaeologist is like dusting off like the walls. And it turns out, every 5,000 years, this great evil is going to come to try to destroy the world and eliminate these elements that has a chance to destroy him. So they feel these elements are not safe on Earth anymore. And they have this priest who is supposed to be like their contact on the planet. So Luke Perry, freaks out, shoots at one of them. The chamber starts to close. One of the aliens leave behind a key to the priest, who passes it down to the next person who will take up the mantle and wait for these beings to what do you call those? The Mondosoans. Yeah, the Mondosoans. And so 5,000 years later, in the future, now we got a new priest who is telling the president that this great evil is coming, which is taking a form of like a giant planet, who kills off one of their warships. So they got to find the four stones, which is on a Mondosoan spacecraft that gets shot down by some other warrior race of beings who's hired by one of the other villains, Zorg, who is somehow in league with this great evil. It's never explained how they got linked up, but I guess he, just like with the Mondosoans have the priest as an emissary, I guess this evil wants one of his own to make sure that nothing gets in its way. So he's kind of like a war profiteer kind of guy. So Zorg gets these aliens who it's not very bright. They just want to warrior race that they want to fight for honor and their whole entire thing is just they want like a good battle and stuff like that. So Zorg promised them these advanced weapons, which we don't see them use a lot. Probably twice in the entire film. So they shut down the Mondosoan ship that's supposed to be carrying the case full of the four elemental stones: earth, fire, water, and air. So they go to retrieve the case while the president sends his team to find any survivors, and technically there is one, and it's the arm of one of the pilots that the scientists use biometrics to copy or make a clone essentially of what the pilot was. And this part was very confusing to me. That these big mech things are just suits and there are actual people underneath them, some alien beings that's kind of like more advanced versions of humans or something, because their DNA strands is kind of like, you know, almost triple or quadruple the kind of a biology of what humans are, because they used a severed arm to recreate the previous, you know, pilot, and it turns out to be Leeloo, who retained all the memories of her former biology, I guess, but also is a whole brand new person, speaking in a particular dialect that Mila and the director came up with to make it, you know, very unique. While this is carrying on, the aliens comes to, and they got the name Mando, like manga something. The mangas go to Zorg, and like I said, they're kind of dumb, so it's kind of like, I don't know, almost to the level of Drax, where he takes things very literally. He doesn't understand sarcasm. So when they are instructed to retrieve the case by Zorg, they do exactly that. You told us to go retrieve a case. We retrieved the case. And Zorg is kind of like losing it, like, oh my God, why would I want you to retrieve an empty case? So it's like, I'm not going to give you my weapons. But of course, they said, like, you know, don't renege on our deal. We deserve some kind of compensation. It's like, fine, we'll leave you a case. But they mess around with the buttons, and one is like a self-destruct button, and he killed nearly all of them for, you know, not following through on the orders. So Zorg decides to send his own team to go find the Four Stones, or at least find the priest that he met some time ago, who knew about these stones, and hopefully to try to figure out the whereabouts of them. So Leeloo breaks out and ends up in the cab of Corbin Dallas, who's like a former major of Special Forces, who's now a cab driver. And he, you know, meets up with Leeloo, who is learning English little by little by, reading stuff, looking up stuff, as she, begs, please help. And so, with no rhyme or reason, but just like on gut feeling, he decides to help her out and outrun the cops. And he, she says to bring her to the priest Cornelius, and he takes her to meet the priest. And once he realized, oh, this is the fifth element, the perfect being, he rushes Corbin Dallas out of the room, because it's like, okay, you did a good service here, so they'll take it from here. But the president sends a general to go meet up with Corbin Dallas. They rig this contest in order for him to go on this mission to save the world, essentially. Everything starts to converge on one another. So realizing, because they need him to, because the general thinks he's the best of the best, and also the only surviving member of his former team. He goes to they go to him to like, okay, we rigged the contest so you can go on this mission in order to find these stones that a person on this cruise vessel who will know the whereabouts of, in order to stop this great evil. Of course, he's hesitant until the priest shows up with Leeloo, when they realize, oh, we can't get on this cruise liner because they don't have no invite and they don't have the money to pay for it. So they go to him in order to take up his place. They knock him out. They take everything and have the priest will have his little protege David to be Corbin Dallas. Don't know why he trusted this dude who's kind of like a wormy dude. Not like he is like a weak link out of this entire film, but he's definitely like, They didn't make him such a wormy guy. He could have been a little bit competent, but I guess he's kind of sort of like the because there's a lot of comic relief. He doesn't. All that isn't rested solely on him. Everybody have their little comedic moments, which is a good thing, because I like a movie who does not only doesn't take itself too seriously, but balances the seriousness and the comedic elements in a good flow. Every person has a good comedic moment, even like the dumb aliens. Even unintentionally, the Monosaurs with their big bulky bodies, when they wobble along, they kind of look kind of goofy. You can't help but kind of giggle a little bit. Zorg has some good funny moments, and it's like, oh, you're a monster, Zorg. I know. It's kind of goofy. He has his goofy moments when he's like choking on a cherry, and his little pet is just kind of looking out, and you're like, it's just kind of funny. Cornelia's got funny moments. Of course, Bruce Willis got some funny moments. You tend to forget that Bruce Willis can do comedy pretty dang well. Of course, Chris Tucker, very funny in this. So, like I said, they all have the comedy is spread out evenly, and it's done right. Whereas like that one celebrity that's at the cruise thing that's kind of deaf, and Corbin telling him pass me the gun, and he couldn't hear, and so for some reason he passed him billiard balls, and he's like, thanks. It's like I like that. It's really good. So well, everybody's trying to take up Corbin Dallas's place, but the real Corbin Dallas managed to get there, shoos David off, and he checks his ID. He's confirms it's him. Him and Leeloo go on a cruise ship, because he's very into Lilu, and she's growing a connection with him. So Cornelius decides to sneak on board, to make sure that, they get like all the elements together and get this, taken care of. While Zorg, sick of everybody's incompetence, kills off his like right hand because he keeps failing. So he decides to go do it himself. He Thanoses this. Matter of fact, he kind of was the Thanos before Thanos. It's like, fine, I'll do it myself. So the mangas go to hijack this luxury cruise thing, because they know these elements are worth something, so they figure they can like negotiate with Zorg properly to get their weapons that was promised. So after this like iconic opera singer who is holding somehow the 4 elemental stones within her body, not sure if she has some kind of biological mechanism where she can just swallow these, like the stones is like like a little bit bigger than this water bottle, and kind of wide, so she must have had to swallow these things whole, and she's like a tall drink of water herself. So after the manga starts shooting up the place, kills the opera singer, who tells Corbin Dallas, who I guess she knows he has a connection with the Supreme Being, who she knows that they have a connection, and it's one of those things where like love is the key to all this kind of crap. But isn't like that hokey about it. Still a little hokey, but not crazy. So Corbin kills a lot of the mangas, but he specifically takes out the leader because he knows that these creatures don't fight without a leader, so they're forced to surrender. So in a cool dead-eye shot, takes out the leader, Bullseye, and all the other all the other creatures surrender. Meanwhile, Ruby Ron's just kind of screaming most of the time, and come on, my man, come on, my man, come on, my man, come on, my man. Does a lot of this stuff. So Zorg gets on the ship, finds the case that the opera singer bringing in, because they all figure that she is the person that was, because the reason why the Mandosaurus didn't have what people thought they would have the case on the ship, little did anybody else knew, they did like a trick. Early on, at some point, they gave the stones to the opera singer, and they split off. She went one direction, and they went off the other direction, being decoys. So everybody thought the case was them, but the stones she carried within her body and went off for them. So it was all a trick. So once they figure it out, they thought, oh, it's still in our case. They see this case with her. As like Zorg finds the case, realizes, oh my God, it's still empty. Still coming up with empty cases. So he goes back to the ship where it has like a bomb detector. And so while everybody's getting off the luxury cruise that's about to blow up. And it's one of those things. The main hero never meets the main villain. I can't think of any other movie. I'm pretty sure there are others, but I can't think of any other movie that doesn't have the main hero interacting with the main villain. This is very unique in this way. And I don't think anybody hates this idea. But I don't think every movie can pull this off. Because depending on the writing, it wouldn't make any sense. But it works here. They keep missing each other. Matter of fact, as Corbin and the group goes to get off the ship, Zorg is coming back in to find the stones. He shuts off his bomb. Well, one of the dying Mongas sets off one of their own bombs. It goes off while Corbin steals, unbeknownst to the group, Zorg's ship, and gets off before the entire place explodes, killing Zorg in the process. So they go back to Earth, go to Egypt, while Leeloo, after fighting most of the Mongas and been getting wounded by Zorg, she, after learning about humanity's history, doesn't believe that it's worth saving. When they get to Earth and try to apply the stones, they have a tough time figuring out how to open these dang things. And then when David, I guess this is his big shining moment, because of him inadvertently semi-opening one stone by breathing heavily, and it clicks to everybody like, oh, we got to activate these stones by applying the element to the nature to the element. So he breathes on the element of air because it requires air. But here's the thing. Air is all around us. Unless you're in a vacuum sealed place, this stone should have been, well, I guess scratch that, because it has to be hooked onto these pillars first in order to do the activation. I was about to say, like, well, why this thing didn't activate at any point when it's in open space? But scratch that. It has to be hooked up to these pillars. Never mind. So then the priest wipes off his sweat and drips it onto the elemental stone of water. Then David puts, like, dirt on the ground on top of the element of earth. But Ruby, looking at the element of fire, is like, I don't know fire. Nobody has fire. Unlike the other elements, fire isn't just readily around. But Corbin has his one last match. It's like, don't breathe hard, because you only get one shot at this. It's one of those old school matches too. He doesn't have no lighter, and it's the future. It's kind of weird. It doesn't have just like a clicker or open lighter. So he lights the match, strike it on the stone of fire, and he lets Leeloo know there are things worth saving in this world, like love, and he lets her know how much he loves her. They kiss. She unlocks the fifth element, destroying the evil planet, and then the world is saved. And the movie ends with Lilo and Corbin getting it on. And that was The Fifth Element. Still such a fun freaking movie, man. Golly. I had a great time. Golly. Leave a comment and let me know what you guys think of The Fifth Element, and have you watched it recently? I want to get started on the next review, which still aligns with the Father's Day review month. So I will see you guys for the next one. I got a lot to do, so I want to end it right here. So I'll see you all soon. Peace.